Hello everyone, this is Riku Keyblade Master, and today, I have a very strange topic for you guys, and today we are discussing the topic of abolitionism. Now, for those of you, that have heard people say, defund the police or abolish the police department, this traces way back. There are many meanings to the word abolish now. There are many meanings to the word prohibition. But yeah, I mean, simply as a person who has studied the justice system and have a few friends on the other side who serve in the police department, well, I have a suggestion. Whatever you do, don't completely defund the police entirely, slash their budgets, and slash their budgets. And another way is take all that military shit away from them. 'Cause, officers are saying, hey, we got the badge, we can do whatever we want, and we just got this really kick-ass military equipment, which we can use because we can. And Brianna's Law has been passed based on the girl who was killed, shot 8 times in her apartment when the police had a no-knock warrant. But here's the thing, like I said, their suspect was already in custody, so she did not need to die. And neither did George Floyd. That was excessive force, and I will not stand for it. I know I keep bringing up this subject a lot, but hey, you know what? I can't let go of things as easy as other people. And like I said, as someone who has experienced police brutality and any other kind of brutality, I'd be one of the perfect people to talk about this kind of thing. Because, for a while, I was scared to speak up about, the different brutalities I had faced. But now, as I've grown older, and they become distant memories, and they just pop up in my head, I have no choice but to really talk about them. It's the only way I can get them out of my head. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say, slash their budgets, require them all to wear working body cameras and sensors on their wrists, so if they go to turn off the body camera to do something, then the person would know that they were going to do something illegal. By turning off the body cam. Or trying to break the body cam. Because I've seen officers with broken body cameras before, trust me. So, really, I mean, give them wristbands that will let you know automatically, hey, this guy's about to do something illegal, this guy's about to turn off his body cam, that sort of thing. Arm bracelets, or, better yet, ankle bracelets. As someone who is forced to metaphorically wear an ankle bracelet, honestly, serving a sentence for no crime that I had committed, which my sentence is my multitude of disabilities, and I committed no crime to get this punishment, but the way that society treats me, I'm starting to think, hey, You know, what did I do to get these? Like, I started to become self-aware when I was just as young as 4 or 5 years old. You gotta remember, this is the same girl who wanted to commit suicide 3 times due to people making her feel like shit over her disabilities and over things she could not control. And that includes family members, acquaintances, pretty much basically everyone under the sun. And now that I found a cause to talk about it, I have been lynched once before for like 2 minutes when my mom decided, hey, we're going to do this Bible study group at home or whatever. I was fine with it for a couple weeks, and then it got really, really boring. Like, if you don't make things fun and interactive, they're not exactly going to be, people aren't going to want to stick with them. Well, she got mad, and she basically tried to lynch me. Next thing I knew, she had her knee on my neck, which also could have triggered the air pocket moving up as far as it has. Like, there's a lot of things that could have contributed to that, but the fact is, she basically lynched me for 2 minutes straight, and I literally was dizzy after that. I thought I was gonna die, but somehow I didn't. And my grandma's excuse was, oh, your mom wasn't in her right mind when she did that. Well, you know what? I don't tolerate excuses. Anyone who decides to make excuses for someone else, I'm gonna lynch you and see how you like it. And I don't care how old you are. So, yeah. When I found out that George Floyd was lynched for 8.5 minutes, I literally got that memory back in my head. And, man, that did not need to happen, because I suffer too many post-traumatic stress disorders as it is. My whole life is severe PTSD, for fuck's sake. I mean, seriously, my whole life is nothing but severe PTSD. I can't forget things very easily. People get mad at me because I can't, but they don't understand what it's like to basically be told you're a burden. And, my mom doesn't remember those incidences because, my grandma claims, oh, she blames herself for all the stuff she did and whatever. Well, you know what? If you blamed yourself for all the shit you did, you would have made up for it the next day. You would have remembered it the next day and decided to apologize. Just like how I got insulted by my dad's mom, my third grandma. In total, now this makes 6 grandmas for me. 3 of them are dead, and 3 of them are alive. One of them I had just gained through marriage. And I went over to her house. We were on our way to, from Family Video when she called. She said she couldn't fix her DVD player. She couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And she's one lazy motherfucker. She's making people like me feel bad. Like, she can't even do anything. She's been waited on hand and foot her whole life, basically. And forgive me for saying so, but this is where the insult comes in. So Jim looks at her DVD player and she's like, and I glance at her TV out of the corner of my eye. And it's one of them really, really small flat screens. Like one of the first ones that they came out with. Well, get this. She says, I said, no offense, but how can you see on that thing? And that far away? And she goes to me, she goes, and you can't? And I'm just like, I don't know how to respond. I didn't know how to respond other than throwing my hands up and looking like this. I said, no. I thought you would have known by now that I'm partially blind. You can throw the Alzheimer's excuse all you want, but that doesn't justify the fact that she did that to me, and it scarred me forever. Jim said, you know what, Mom? No, she can't really see because, she's partially blind. And he didn't even go as far to bring up the fact that my optic nerves were a mess. But he was just explaining to her, she's partially blind. She can't really see. She has a lot of things that prevent her from being able to see. And I talk to her on the phone sometimes, because I would answer my mom's phone whenever she'd be in the store or something. And she doesn't even remember my voice again. Like, honestly, I met the girl 5 times. I met Maureen 5 times. And you would think that by now, after meeting her several times and seeing, hearing her voice on the phone, she would remember me. Besides the Alzheimer's excuse. I'm not even going to claim that as a reasonable issue anymore. Because my whole life, that's been used as an excuse. So people can get away with hurting me and not facing any consequences. But, yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know that I too experienced the whole lynching thing. So it really hurt me when this whole thing with George Floyd came up, and I didn't think about it for a while until the day when they said that certain channels went black for 8.5 minutes with nothing but a black screen and a heavy breathing sound. It's just like, dude, great. Now this has brought up a huge issue for me. And please don't ask me to let it go, because I can't, like I said in the beginning, I can't get rid of stuff that easy. I can't. When you've suffered as much of a PTSD as I've had from the womb all the way to now, my PTSD is a lot worse than all the other wars combined. Just because you're not wearing a military uniform doesn't mean that you're not in your own war, and it doesn't mean a damn just because you didn't fight against another team. Technically, I did fight against another team. I fought against a team of doctors who basically told my mom, 5-1, abortion's the way to go. But the captain saved me, and thank God he did. And I was given paranormal abilities because of the fact that I have died several times. I have crossed over several times. Not even made it past the gates yet. I was so close one time. I was so close in 2016 when that contrast incident happened. I was so close. But something threw me back. And a voice keeps saying, you know what? You're not meant to leave yet. And I think this is why I'm here. I think the reason I'm here is to teach people that they need to work on their equality skills.